Hello and welcome to the next episode of my channel where I'll be taking up the part 2 of the lesson Portrait of a Lady. In the first part, we had spoken about the relationship of the narrator and his grandmother when they were in the village and the gradual change which came when they went to the city. Now we are going to take up the next part in their relationship. The common link of friendship between the author and grandmother broke when the author started going to the university and was given a room of his own. The grandmother accepted her loneliness and rarely spoke to anyone. All day long she sat spinning the wheel and reciting her prayers. Only in the afternoon she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows. They perched on her shoulders and some even on her head, but she never shooed them away. It used to be the happiest half hour of the day for her. The author then decides to go abroad for his higher studies for 5 years. He was very sure that his grandmother would be upset at his departure, but she was not even sentimental. She came to the railway station to see him off, and she showed no emotion. She was absorbed in praying and counting the beads of her rosary. Silently she kissed his forehead. The author thought that perhaps this was the last sign of physical contact between them, because he was very sure that at this age anything can happen to a person, and he was sure that he might not be able to meet her after 5 years when he comes back. But after 5 years, the author found his grandmother at the station exactly the same when he returned. She held him in her arms, and he found her more religious and more self-contained. He could hear her reciting prayers. Even that day, the happiest moment of her was feeding the sparrows itself. However, something very strange happened to her in the evening. For the first time ever, she did not pray. Instead, she collected the women of the neighborhood, got an old drum, and started singing songs of the homecoming of warriors. They tried to persuade her to stop, to avoid overstraining herself, but she didn't listen. Next morning, she fell ill. The grandmother was diagnosed with a mild fever by the doctor, but she insisted that her end was near. It seems she was just waiting for her grandson to return. She told everyone that she did not want to talk to anyone and would rather spend her time praying. She ignored everyone's protests and started counting the beads in her rosary while praying. After a short while, the author noticed that his grandmother's lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. She died a peaceful death, and then she was covered in a red shawl or a shroud for her last rituals. When the author and the others came to take her away, they met a strange sight. To mourn her death, a lot of sparrows had surrounded her body, the same sparrows whom she used to feed every day, but today they were all very silent. When the author's mother offered the sparrows some bread, they refused to eat and quietly flew away after the grandmother's body was carried away for the last rites. So this is about the life journey of the lady who was very, very devoted to her family, to her grandson, and then to animals and birds. I hope you have understood the lesson. Thank you.